Worlds 2025 continued last weekend with some spicy round 3 games as we approach the end of Swiss stage. Katie Rolster beat Top Esports last Friday in a series which was a bit closer than the 2-0 might suggest.
Hung here as well. Recall coming in from 369, but if he TPs in, is it going to be fast enough? 6K getting lower. KT backing off, going to play to punish the TP instead. Looking to delete 369, unstoppable for a brief moment, dashing out to safety now. Ulti coming in from Cream. It's a bloodbath as Otacon remains in the mix, but it's a beautiful equalizer across the lineup. Hung tries to fire back. Across the veil comes BDD, bouncing to the other side, looking to finish up TES. Jackie left the barrier, keeping him standing. His banner goes a little bit too far, and 369 is happy to punish.
Meanwhile, AL edged out CTBC Flying Oyster 2-1 in a series which featured one of the most insane team fights we've seen this year.
Hold that thought, charge on the way in. Tarzan trying to bully his way forward. Doggo already used the cleanse, locked up for a moment. Flandra right into the back line, but Rest is here to respond. Doggo for now untouched. Flandra demounted and running. 5K on the Otacon. Honq popping off with the ultimate. It's a tidal wave across the entire team fight, and he catches Kyle. Crucially, but Honq about to fall. Invisible for a moment. The side step. Otacon might finish him off. It's a roll more bid coming in for the meantime, and Shanks, but he's not quite sure where he wants to be. Shanks into the back line, but it's Shanks who goes into the tower and will fall. Otacon resetting. Tarzan and AL on the retreat, and it's CFO again making their mark.
On Saturday, Hanwha dispatched 100 Thieves, FlyQuest took down Team Secret Whales, and G2 upset BLG in style, featuring one of the most ballsy Rise ults I have ever seen. But the most anticipated game of the day was surely Gen G versus T1, and to take a closer look at this El Clasico and Gen G's tournament so far, we had Sean Wetselaar on the ground in China.
We're here in front of the Smart Esports Center in Beijing, and in the face of all of that Swiss stage, best-of-1 chaos, I want to take a second to talk about one of the more stable pre-tournament favorites in Gen G. They are sitting at 2-1 heading into the best-of-3s, and their only loss was to AL, an extremely strong team in their own right that pushed Gen G all the way to 5 games back at MSI. And even so, that best-of-1 really looked like it should have gone Gen G's way after they built up a really significant early game lead. AL were only able to clutch it out thanks to a sort of miraculous fight at Dragon that really came down to some heroics by Kael's Poppy.
It ain't stealable as Keen pops the ulti. The all out there. He is getting poked down, and Shanks is sending away to the Supreme Display. Will find the mark on the side, and Ruler jumped in to a Poppy with a steadfast presence. Dragon stolen, and the fight for AL taken away. Kael, this pick pays dividends.
Meanwhile, they crushed PSG, and they clearly learned something from Kael's Poppy because they picked it in their next game against T1, where they absolutely obliterated their domestic rivals in a game that I think a lot of people expected to be close and competitive instead of, well, this.
All the setup again. Juro goes in deep, but Owner already getting chunked out alongside Carrier. Otacon at 5, the dive in there as Canyon once again finds a new target. Carrier burst down, the unbreakable will was finally broken. And with Redemption coming down, what do you say? A shockwave into Guma, Duro given a wall, a double for Chovy as Faker finally gets something back for T1, but Otacon just fell. There's Gen G coming in from over the wall. Faker's got no mana to survive. His weirding isn't weird enough. And as Ruler takes him down, it's Owner tagged out by Canyon. The jungler's fighting out with Cyclone to negate the audacious charge, but once again the cooldown's up, and Canyon sends Owner packing with the rest of T1.
We got the chance to talk to Ruler after that absolutely brutal win, and honestly, he isn't satisfied with taking out T1 in a single best-of-1. The greatest AD carry of all time isn't going to be happy until he beats Faker in yet another Worlds Finals.
일단 특별하게 생각하지 않았고요. 왜냐면 다전제와 이 단판제의 T1은 차이가 어마어마하다고 생각해서 아직 멀었다고 생각을 하고 꼭 결승에서 만나고 싶습니다, T1을. 그래서 그때 이겨야 뭔가 이 만족이 될 것 같아요.
This is a team that I think a lot of people expect to go all the way and lift the Summoners Cup, and it's definitely a team that won't be satisfied with anything less than that. It's just such an unbelievable lineup this year. They've got the jungle and ADC GOATs flanking the absolute best player in the world right now in Chovy. The closest thing Gen G has to like role players are Keen and Duro, who are just unbelievable talents in their own rights. Don't let any of this Swiss stage best-of-1 chaos fool you. For my money, this is still Gen G's tournament to lose. And if anybody else is hoping to actually lift the Summoners Cup in Chengdu, they're going to need to take the fight to what is still, I think, the strongest team in the world right now. And Gen G is going to be ready.
This video is sponsored by our friends over at Opera GX, who have the definitive browser for gaming. Opera GX has forged an official partnership with Riot Games and is the ultimate browser for keeping up with League of Legends esports during World Season. And to maximize your experience as a League fan, Opera GX has created Riot Corner, a one-stop shop where you can follow all the major World storylines as they happen. It's got tournament matches and results, a calendar, and all the live co-streamers so you can get every juicy morsel of your World's content in one place. You can access Riot Corner by downloading one of the official League mods in Opera GX, which is my personal favorite feature. You can choose from a collection of unique League themes that make your browser look really dope. So download Opera GX today using the link in the description and get started.
Taking a closer look at Sunday's games now, we saw 4 teams trying to keep their World's hopes alive, all of them sitting on 0 wins, 2 losses. The losers will be the first teams eliminated from Worlds. It really was do or die. The first series saw EU domestic rivals Koi and Fnatic go head to head. Game 1 started off with a lot of focus around the mid lane as Jojo Pyun and Poby traded blows. MKoi pressed their early advantage into 2 dragons and a 1k gold lead. The game stayed close until the 15-minute mark when Fnatic started Rift Herald. They secured it, but MKoi made them pay.
Upset and Poby still staying alive for now as Oscar Venom is down to 200 HP. MKoi are cutting off the escapes, and they are cutting off the hopes of Fnatic. Upset and Mickey trying to get themselves away back through the tribe rush. Elyoya and Jojo on the chase. Mickey with the flash of the wall, but Supa is ready to tumble right after him. Upset, the last man standing. He's going to summon up the Herald to try to get away. Maybe try to take the taxi home. A little bit more damage might just be able to stop him, but no. Upset will use the Herald to be the only man on Fnatic who survived.
Just minutes later though, MKoi managed to halve their gold lead after getting collapsed on at Fnatic's blue buff. Koi managed to re-establish their gold lead with a few more picks, and when the key dragon fight finally came, the one Fnatic had to win to deny Sol, Super Zeri came online.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, the difference in completing that in time. Razor going for the flash engage there onto Supa, who makes the distance and gets away. Supreme display of talent, not going to get a whole lot, but Alvaro's got the quickness to start the fight off in earnest as Oscar's already down. Mickey's struck alone in the backside of the enemy lines as Poby's going to be melted by Elyoya. Razor can't stand any longer either, and Fnatic fall to pieces again.
Armed with Dragon Soul, Baron buff, and a 15k gold lead, MKoi brushed off Fnatic's final stand in the top lane and took down the Nexus in just under 27 minutes. Fnatic came back strong in game 2 with 2 early kills, but things really ballooned just before 19 minutes when an MKoi engage backfired horrifically.
It's like that's all you're going to get, but now the fight is already broken out. Poby taking a little bit of damage here as Tempered Fate catches out the Fnatic mid laner, but a nice keeper's verdict to knock Jojo away from the fight means there's not enough follow-up damage. Equalizer down on a Supa, follow-up there from Razork. Killer Instinct jumps in and Supa's already down. Oscar Renan's cooking Mirwin. Alvaro's already dead to the Acathian rain, and when it rains, it pours. Fnatic are bringing it down on MKoi, a double kill.
We then saw a very similar situation to game 1 when Fnatic tried to deny MKoi their Dragon Soul, except this time the roles were reversed.
Okay, slam into the wall, comes out, equalizer over the top. Elyoya going to be targeted here as soon as he gets out of the stasis, probably going to try to spin. Redemption comes in, looking to heal him, but it's upset into the back line here with the Killer Instinct. Super trying to get away, Razork on the chase. Elyoya first to die. Razork might get traded, but no! Jojo has no damage. He's dead now as well. The Arcane Storm is half as big as the enemy jungle, and Fnatic get 4 for nothing.
MKoi were on track to scale up, just not any time this year. Their combined 2 and 6 carries couldn't hold back the Fnatic onslaught as they evened up the series. The close nature of the series continued into game 3, where we saw an even 2-for-2 trade in the bot lane, immediately followed by a narrow scrap up top.
Alvaro trying to get away, but wind becomes lightning coming out from Elyoya. It's first blood over to Supa with the condemn into the wall on Razork. Elyoya might die, but Supa wants to get one back. He tumbles and he finds the shot, but Upset is about to grab a double kill for himself. Both AD carries now with 2 kills. Oh! Mirwin nearly solo kills Oscar.
Things remained almost neck and neck throughout the early game, but MKoi managed to slowly pull away after turning a Fnatic engage, leading to a 3rd kill for Supa's spicy Vayne pick. Sensing the looming threat of a late game Vayne, Fnatic tried to dive Supa under mid turret, but he was just too slippery. Fnatic put up minimal resistance during the mid game, allowing Koi to continue dragon stacking pushing and taking Atakan almost at will. The somewhat healthy KDA on their carries might have given some Fnatic fans hope, but that was all but snuffed out during the Baron fight at 28 minutes.
Teleport from Mickey coming around from the side. Oscar in the middle of everybody, but immediately Poby is dead as the fight begins. Zupa's under pressure, but he isn't dead yet. The rest of the team peels beautifully. Fnatic knew they had to try something, but it just wasn't enough.
Koi's Baron siege erupted into a 4v4 in the mid lane as Razork and Upset could only watch as their teammates evaporated at the hands of Super, and their Nexus followed suit shortly after. The next series saw PSG take on the LTA's second seed VKS. A fairly passive early game suddenly erupted into carnage before 12 minutes as an extended 5v5 fight saw VKS nearly ace the LCP representatives, taking 4 kills for 1. PSG looked like they had a good angle at Rift Herald at 16 minutes, closing in on VKS from 3 different angles, but after Woody's Rakan got blown up on the engage, VKS steamrolled in a straight line to take the fight 3 for 1. We saw a mad fight near Dragon a few minutes later where both teams separately engaged on each other to play a game of whose backline can survive the longest, which VKS won emphatically thanks to their 5v4 advantage.
Karsa wants the engage. Miru flashing away with the flash follow coming in from Karsa. Meanwhile, VKS with the counter-attack over the wall. It's Betty and Woody looking to get away as Miru survives. Betty's first to die and Woody follows. There's no way you're killing Bawal as Karsa and Aja try to escape. Karsa's very low and another rock flies over the wall. Now Aja will be next to die with a decimating smash pulverized combo. Bawal's on a rampage for nothing for Brazil.
Soon we started to see the kind of commanding play we'd really not seen from Vivo Cade all tournament, using their 7k gold lead to crush PSG at 21 minutes. As VKS threatened Baron 3 minutes later, Miru executed yet another pinpoint Talia wall to divide PSG and conquer their base, taking the Nexus just after 25 minutes with an almost comical 26 kills to 3. Game 2 kicked off with Disarmus experiencing jungler heaven as his solo laners collapsed on the invading Karsa to give VKS first blood. Things really heated up after 8 minutes as Karsa tried to take the remaining Void Grubs, but PSG's topside man advantage was negated by a Disarmus Pantheon ult.
As now the engage comes out from Trimby, Disarmus and Miru ready to follow it up. Maple staying alive for now. Morteus needs a little bit of damage. He trades 1 for 1 with Maple. Trimby's gonna get cooked up by Aja. Feet of Warfare claimed by VKS, but Trimby's about to die. Aja needs a little bit more damage and he finds it. Now Miru's the one under pressure. Ornhorn summoned up by Bawal. Aja in the back part of the pit and he's gonna drop now too.
But PSG managed to keep the gold lead even going into the second dragon, and despite blinking health bars on 3 of them during the team fight, they took down 3 of VKS without losing anyone.
The Drake is stolen away by Disarmus. Bawal's in the pit with everybody. Betty's gonna be the target, but over the wall goes Bawal, and now Woody's ready to follow. Bawal is next to die. Betty low, but safe for now. Aja's cooking everybody, and Morteus is down. PSG!
An extremely close Atakan fight at 24 minutes saw VKS stretch themselves too much in what had been looking like somewhat of a comeback for them.
Gonna step forward, Betty's your target. Crashdown only finds Woody. They want a full send it. Woody's not dead here just yet, but they're gonna find a lot of damage onto Maple. Karsa into the back line. Miru's already down. It's a massive play coming out from PSG. They found 2. VKS overplay their hand. And it's PSG with a huge punish.
By 31 minutes, PSG had ground that slight lead out to an almost 6k gold advantage, an Atakan and a Dragon Soul. As they position around Baron, VKS knew they had to try something.
There's nobody else nearby, nobody in the neighborhood to follow up. Karsa full sends it. He knows he's got Guardian Angel. It doesn't matter if he dies. Miru and Morteus both just burning away. Betty dominating on that Varus as Bawal goes in. Rams is headed to nothing. Disarmus and Morteus firing back here a little bit as Maple tries to put the pressure onto the Ezreal. He can't quite kill him here just yet. Morteus firing off the Mystic shots.
VKS crumbled soon after as PSG rolled through bot lane to even up the series 1-1. The deciding game in this best of 3 exploded just before 4 minutes after Karsa's ambitious Nefari invade was collapsed on by VKS, leading to a bloody 4v4 and PSG narrowly coming out on top. The game remained pretty close until the Disarmus Nocturne pick finally started to come online and start punishing Betty whenever he was alone. Meanwhile, his opposite number, Morteus, soon picked up a double kill on Yunara in the bot lane.
He flashes 2 ladies already down. Trimby goes forward, but they don't even need the stun. It's a double kill for Morteus.
A pretty perfect poppy ult from Boal at 21 minutes helped secure a fight for VKS, who started to look firmly in the driver's seat. PSG were chasing down a scattered VKS just before 28 minutes, but they failed to take Miru's Akali into the equation.
Magical journey over the wall. Morteus firing
calling out the Arc of Triumph. Now Trimby flashes, stays alive for now. Keeper's verdict channeled again. Morteus just firing back into the PSG lines. Miru jumps in, and now Betty's in danger. He goes for the Feather Storm, but VKS turn it right back around.
The game and series was ultimately decided by a fight just before 34 minutes outside the walls of PSG's base. It took VKS's carries a combined 21 kills to get the job done, but they got it done.
Another slam into the ground here with the cube. Bawal is in danger. Where's the backup from VKS? PSG fighting for their lives. Bawal stays alive. Aja and Woody about to die outside of the base. And Maple is the only man standing. VKS! They ace them!
VKS kept their wild's dream alive, moving on to round 4 of the Swiss stage to face a floundering BLG, while Koi takes on Team Secret Wales. Rounding out the rest of round 4, CTBC Flying Oyster will continue their Dark Horse run by facing Hanwha Life. G2 will take on FlyQuest in a series which have many favoring the North Americans. Gen G will take on Top Esports, and 100 Thieves will go up against defending world champions T1. With 3 wins and 0 losses, KT and AL have advanced to the knockout stage. Rounds 4 and 5 will determine who joins them. The Swiss stage may be drawing to a close, but for many, this is where the tournament really begins.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.